Hey, Apprentice 2, I'm back. All right, so we're just going to go briefly over fine arts, which is music, classical music. Last week we did a little bit of intro of the three composers that we're going to be learning about. And this week we're going to be focusing on Beethoven Symphony Number 5. I think you introduced it all last week if you did the fine arts component of CC, week 19. So a little bit about Beethoven's symphony, the number five. He was a prodigy like Mozart, so you want to talk about maybe what a prodigy is, and maybe go back to introducing a little bit about Mozart if they've never heard of him before. It says that he may have taken some lessons from Mozart. Okay, so it's a great way to stress that you can learn from your friends or learn from people who are skilled in a particular area so that you can learn the skills that they have. He learned piano and violin from his father. His father didn't treat him very well, but because he made him stand and play piano for hours. Even woke him up in the middle of the night to play. Maybe not focus on that so much, but the importance of practicing, especially if you want to become really good at something, you have to really practice. And sometimes parents have to remind the kids to practice and remind them to play so that they get really good at something, even if you guys don't want to do it. I know sometimes you're like, I don't want to practice, I don't want to play. But if you keep playing the sport or something that you're good at, or if you keep playing that instrument, or keep singing or keep dancing, whatever it is that you do, if you keep practicing it, you're going to be really great at it, okay? So that's some things to focus on. He lived in Vienna and had lessons from Haydn. He is known for improvisation. Improvisation is you can also look that up together. Improvisation is when you come up with something on the spot. And so if he was playing something, maybe he was doing a performance and he was hired to do a performance for a group of people and he didn't plan to play anything. So just in the moment, he just made up a song. That's kind of how you improvise. You just kind of make something up as you kind of go along, like spontaneous. You improvise. Whatever you have, you make it work. Kind of the way I cook. Like if my kitchen is like a chopped kitchen. Whatever I find is what I throw in there. Anyway, at age 26, he started losing his hearing because of an illness. So to think about him losing his hearing, which is the one sense that he needed really to play. I guess he really did need it, but that you would think that he would need is his hearing to know if he was playing right, if it sounded right. And it's really remarkable. So maybe talk about that and maybe even pray and just thank God for the and appreciate all the senses that we have, our sight, our smell, our taste, our hearing, our touch. All those things are things that we take for granted. And someone like Beethoven, who was losing it, and it was a part of his passion. His passion was his music. So maybe kind of talk about those things is a great time to pray and just be thankful for our hearing because it is a gift and we really take it for granted. Okay, so Beethoven, the song is 7 minutes long, so only take, no, that's for me, no, disregard that. So maybe play it 3 times. This is our suggestion, is to play it 3 times through, and then walk your child through. This is what we were going to do with them. So you're going to play it 3 times through and then walk them through it. It doesn't have to be one sitting. It could be like, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once before bed, and just have them listen to it and say, like, what do you know? What do you recognize that is different? Do you hear the sounds? Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's loud, sometimes you hear certain instruments, sometimes you hear other instruments. And then even share what you hear. If they're not picking up a lot of the things that you think are important to pick up, then say, oh, but listen to the violins, or listen to how quiet it gets, or listen to how loud it gets, or listen to, it sounds like a lot of instruments are playing together, and sometimes it sounds like there's not a lot of instruments playing together. So just discuss different things and have them just listen. It could be on the floor, it could be very casual, it doesn't have to be a school-like setting, sitting down at a desk, but just try to make it fun for you also and for your child. All right, so that's fine arts. Oh, actually, let's just play a little bit of the song. I think that we're supposed to do that. So let's just play a little bit of Beethoven. So it comes right up. I just hit beat H and already comes up. Okay, here we go. It's like the intro is like so powerful. Who hasn't heard that? I wish I could play this. Everybody's like so passionate at this part. Here he is. What's wrong with him? There we go. And listen to it. Listen to it. It's like it's coming up. It's like we didn't dance to this. It's like so I just want to dance. Can you stop? Can you stop? Those sounds like different instruments now. A little softer, right? Can you guess what instruments? Come on, guys. I can hear you. I know some of you have the right answer. Okay. Okay. It's building up. 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 It's like so energetic. I don't think I could ever fall asleep to this or study to this. Maybe cook. I could probably cook to this. Alright, so we'll pause there. And maybe go over. So that was 1 minute and 36 seconds. So then, hold on, at that part, it goes back to how it started. So maybe, I just realized that now. Maybe point that out to the kids. Like, wait, pause it like around 1:35. And then there's like a little pause, and then it starts off like with that dun 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 dun, kind of how it started off in the beginning. So maybe they can look for that, look for those same sounds that they heard from the beginning or at different parts of the song. Wait, oh, we heard that, and maybe even jot it down. At 0.01, we heard the same sounds, the same instruments at 1 minute and 37 seconds, something like that. So just get them listening, so recognizing different things. Again, we just want to introduce them to the music and have them listen is the most important thing, okay? Week 20, Fine Arts, Music, Beethoven's number 5. Bye.